What's up YouTube, it's Heretic here, back with another deck profile, and today we're going to be looking at the Durant Bunnelby deck that I played against Batman in a recent match video. I know a couple of you guys have asked for this deck profile, so made some changes to the deck since I originally played it, and this is the list that I'm working with right now. So to start with, we've got 4 Durants. It's the new grass-type Durant from BREAKpoint, and for 1 grass, he does 10 damage, discards top card of your opponent's deck, whoop-de-doo. For a grass and a colorless, if he has any damage counters on him, he discards 4 cards off the top of your opponent's deck. So that's the attack we're mainly trying to use here. So we've got some ways to make the damage counters, to put damage counters on him so you can use that attack. And then also ways to get 2 energy on him in 1 turn. So if you don't already know, as you could probably guess by that, our goal here is to deck out our opponent. We got 2 copies of Bunnelby as well, as extra assistance with Burrow. Use it twice per turn, and send the top card so you can mill 2. Not quite as powerful as Durant, but he only takes 1 energy. Can also use Rototiller to send stuff back into the deck if necessary. Now to work with the 2 energy requirement for Durant, we run a 2/2 Bronzong line. I don't think it really matters which Bronzor you run. I have this one in here right now because primarily it has the 1 less retreat. I know in a lot of decks I like the other one more because it has 60 HP instead of 50, but it really doesn't. It's not too big a deal, you know. It's like lower retreat or higher HP, whichever one you choose, you know. And then you got 1 copy of Smeargle, and this is because Bronzong accelerates metal energy, but we still need to get grass energy onto him, so because we're going to have 2 different types of basic energy, this can allow you to metal links onto Durant, and then when he goes to the active slot, you can swap that metal energy that's attached to him out with a grass energy, thanks to Smeargle, which is nice to have. And then we're going to close out our Pokemon lineup with a 1/1 line of Octillery. So for those of you who don't have Shamans, you can still build this. Hooray! No Pokemon EX in this deck, just straightforward deck out. Octillery just to keep our hand from being completely empty at all times, especially with Delinquent running in format now with BREAKpoint. So we play 4 copies of Professor Sycamore because that's our main form of draw power. Even though we're trying to deck out our opponent, we still want to draw into all of our resources because we can always just put stuff back later on. You have no idea how much this hurts, but 2 copies of Professor Birch's Observations. I hate this card. I hate Shauna. I don't want to play either one of them, but we need the extra draw supporters in this deck because you do not want to have Shamans on your bench here. Rare occasion, but we really don't want to. We also got 1 copy of Judge. You can use this either to lower your opponent's hand count on the first turn, or if they have nothing in hand, you can make them draw extra cards. You can make them closer to decking out. Just remember that that also gives them more things to work with in hand. 1 copy of Skyla. So we run a lot of 1 and 2 ofs. As you can see, like single supporters and stuff like that, and sometimes you're just going to need a specific card. We also play a lot of 4 ofs in our items, however, so you should be able to retrieve that, or to pull those most of the time without having to Skyla. But I've found it's better to have the 1 copy. 1 Ace Trainer. We don't draw prizes, so you should pretty much always be able to use that except for on turn 1. So yeah, Ace Trainer's really good. And we got 1 Teammates because our stuff's going to get knocked out a lot. None of it's got very high HP. 90 I think is the highest we have on Bronzong and Octillery, so by all means make use of Teammates. We also play 1 Bridget because we play all non-EXs, and I've been waiting to be able to use the full art of her because it looks awesome. And then 1 Lysander because stalling, you can bring out something, stall your opponent out, or if you're dealing with, say, like a Wobbuffet or a Trevenant or something, send it back to the bench so that you can use Metal Links or your item cards or whatever. 3 copies of Team Magma's Hidden Base work as a great way to get damage onto Durant when you play it down from your hand. 2 damage counters, really good. Then we got 4 VS Seekers to get our supporters back. We got 4 Puzzle of Brokenness, Puzzle of Time. You can mainly you could hold these in your hand if you really wanted to, or I think the ideal play here is that you could teammates for 2 of them and then just use them however you want. Get back, you know, primarily item cards, but you know, like Durants and stuff too. 4 trick shovels because we're playing deck out, and we don't have infinite item retrieval like expanded Sableye decks do. So 4 trick shovels, 4 level ball instead of ultra ball because everything's 90 HP or less, so why should we discard when we don't need to? We got 3 crushing hammers and 1 enhanced hammer to slow our opponents down. Then we've got 2 battle compressors to dump stuff to get back with VS Seeker or Puzzle of Time. 1 super rod for in case our Durants get knocked out. And 2 float stones primarily for our stuff that doesn't attack, especially Bronzong and Octillery, as they have more than 1 retreat. And then we have 4 rainbow energies, which also apply a damage counter as well as fulfill the grass energy need. And then 2 metals to work with Metal Links and 1 grass to work with Smeargle. So I would say right now that this is more of a fun deck than a competitive deck. Like, not something I would want to be like, I'm going into regionals with it, like, no, or states just yet. But it is fun to play if you like these kind of decks. Not sure where it stacks up versus Houndoom Mill Out just yet, the Houndoom EX one that showed up at Cities. But definitely could be really explosive if you can maintain the discard 4 off the top of your opponent's deck continuously. Otherwise, like I said, it's a fun deck to play. It's good against really aggressive decks that plow through like half the deck on turn 1. So a lot of fun to use there. That is Durant Bunnelby, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.